breast. I'm just kidding. How's it going, guys? I got a video for y'all today. The first half of the video, I forgot to plug my microphone in, so I guess enjoy the little bits from that. And yeah, I know. I'm pretty pissed about it, but it is what it is. It's still good. It ain't like the end of the world or anything. It's just what it is. Woo, it's hot. It is so hot. It's like, I think it's like 94 degrees and like 70 or 80% humidity. It is a fucking sauna. Oh, killed a bug again. Let me tell you, the bugs are bad this year. I don't know if you noticed that, but God, they're so bad. So anyways, I'm going to try to make this video kind of short. I haven't uploaded in a while, so I'm going to try to sum up some things, some topics that I want to talk about. Relaying the video of my wreck and mostly the comment section of how irritating that was. Yeah, I got a bunch of views, bunch of likes, shares, whatever. I got some subscribers from it on short form and yada 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 for the YouTube channel and TikTok channel and all that stuff. But what I want to talk about is when you post a video, the internet is technically kind of forever, but I want to let you know. Hold on, let me turn my music down a bit. Okay, there. I just want to say that if you do post something, it can be perceived in multiple different ways. Mine, it was mostly negative, and you know, it is what it is. I'm not upset about it. I mean, you know, they always say, you know, you get more momentum with haters anyways. Well, I found out that that is true. You will definitely get a lot more you'll get a lot more attention from negativity. Unfortunately, in this world, that's just how it kind of goes. And I'm just going to use that negativity in a positive way and just say I'm doing better. Back to the gym, back to work, back to normal life, family, and all the good stuff. Doing better each month at a time. Ooh, spicy. But the main thing is I know a lot of people lack empathy in today's world. I understand that. Some people think it's funny. What is not cool is when I see that on stories where the writer died, either at fault or not. Like, some people just have this ongoing want to just be horribly negative, spreading a lot of hate and just being absolutely horrible. I don't understand why a person want to do that, except for that we're so desensitized that that's become a normal thing on comments. I already know, like, those people wouldn't do that in real life, and it's kind of crazy. It's like a whole new generation of like people being cowards, because you know they wouldn't do that in real life. It would be very rare if those people actually said those things. But I digress. What I really wanted to talk about is, once again, you know, this is kind of a satirical but also informative channel, and I also wanted to say, hey, at 18 years old, I don't think it's smart to buy an S1K. It's not smart to buy the S1K or the leader bike. Honestly, it's probably not smart to buy something like I'm riding, a lightly modified 600. Come on, guys, I'm gonna trying to find a different way. Bitch is loud. Mauricio. What must be going on? I don't know. But that's the second one I've seen fly through going southbound. Anyways, guys, what I was saying before is you don't need to start on, you know, the bike, you know, the bike that you really want. I know it's your money, you can do whatever you want with it, and that's fine too. But you don't need to start out on a big bike. You really don't. I'd say, coming from my experience, started out on a dirt bike. You know, I worked my way from a 50 to an 80 to 125 to 250 and infinity beyond. But even when I got back out riding again, which I took a break for a few years because I had other obligations to tend to, I actually rode my buddy's CF Moto 300 SS and had a ton of fun on that. Bought the bike that unfortunately I wrecked. Hey, look, Lamborghini. And I will say, yeah, that did happen. I did wreck, whatever. It's not the way I wanted to start out a new year of riding, especially coming back. But it is what it is. Anyways, don't let the internet, don't let YouTube or TikTok tell you otherwise. Don't tell them that you have to buy the bike that is a 1000 or even a 600cc, and you're not going to find a lot of stock ones. A lot of them are going to have some, you know, you're going to have tunes, exhaust, air intake, you know, some stuff, sprockets, chain, you know, all the good stuff, and that's typical. Say start out with like an MT-07, really the perfect bike, in my opinion, for the price and budget, and not buying something brand new. Don't buy something brand new. That is a financial disaster. You're gonna drop it. You're possibly gonna wreck it. Not trying to bring any hate towards you, but you start out on a big bike. Yes, you can start out on a big bike. Yes, people do it. I mean, when I started out riding on the road as a teenager, I started on a 636. I had R6s, and Lord knows I've had my fair share of those. We're just going to talk about what you need and don't need. The biggest thing, it's not the gear, it's not the bike, it's, are you comfortable on your bike? Can you ride it comfortably? Can you rev match? You know, just simple stuff. Are you in tune with the throttle to, you know, the gearing? I don't really use my clutch a lot of the times. There's no need. These sport bikes are pretty, they're pretty bulletproof. You know, even like a little rough shift like that, the odds of you hurting it are very low. I mean, these things are pretty bulletproof for what they are. I mean, yeah, you can't break them, but they're pretty bulletproof for what they are. Is learn how to ride properly. Even if you didn't grow up riding dirt bikes, which is pretty freaking normal. There's a lot of people that don't. So like, my feet are not down yet. You know, little stuff like that. Learn balance. Learn how to comfortably ride your bike. Now, the way I ride is not going to work for the way you ride, and, you know, vice versa. We all get that. I'm trying to make this as informative. I know there's a lot of TikTok brains out there. Making a 20-minute video is just not going to happen. I don't have the following for that. Ooh, that Beamer is flying. Is that a Beamer? Yeah. M4. If you notice in the video, the little clips I'm going to put in this video of the F-150, or, oh, sheesh, there's a deer. There's one deer, there's sometimes another one there with it following it. Or right there, a raccoon running across the road. Little things like that. A lot of people, when they first start riding, I notice that they panic a lot, especially with the front brake. I mean, you know, get used to hitting that brake, you know? Don't be afraid of that brake. This bike doesn't have ABS. It does have a KYP steering dampener on it, and it's got stuff like that, but it's not like anything crazy or anything, you know. It's just typical old stuff. Get used to the bike. Get something slow that you can learn how to actually be comfortable on before you upgrade. And some people can upgrade quicker than others. I like 1000s, especially for the way I ride. I get on the highway a little bit, so I do like not having to shift as much. that's a pretty big bonus. I know that's like a weird thing no one talks about, but a lot of people prefer the bigger bikes because you don't have to shift as much. You know, 1 to 3 is practically what you're going to be using, and you know, on these bikes you can go, you know, you can be in 6th gear going 48 miles an hour, you know. I mean, you could do it on those too, I guess, but it's more common on these. But yeah, just get used to riding your bike, get used to being comfortable, stuff like that. Moving on. Another misconception is a lot of people think you should ride for the clout, or whatever you kids call it these days. If you're not riding for you, and I know this is going to sound, you know, some unk stuff for you, but if you're riding for the camera, I don't really consider you a real rider. Yeah, real rider. You're not a real rider. But I don't consider that being a rider. I really believe you're just riding because you're interested enough to spend the money on the bike and the helmet and the cameras and whatever, because you really want the attention. You're hoping that you'll get something out of it. But I will assure you that is, I mean, that's okay. Freedom of choice. Don't make that the whole reason why you ride. Some people start out doing that and end up just loving riding the bikes. I like all different types of bikes. You know, you catch me on a cruiser, you're not going to think much of it because I like all bikes. The last point I want to talk about is these flock cameras and data centers. I don't like them. And the reason why, I'm not trying to copy other people's videos, but here's the conspiracy I have, that it's not really a conspiracy, it's actually scary to think about. I'm not going to talk about the typical things people talk about when it comes to data centers or the flock cameras, but the thing that alarms me more is the person that owns Flock Camera took $35 million from Jeffrey Epstein, the island man, and invested into these cameras. The other thing is, these cameras are not typically in high crime areas. They're in neighborhoods, back roads like this, and here's the scary thing is they're in playgrounds. So the people that are sex trafficking children have cameras. They have cameras in neighborhoods, and they have them on playgrounds. So the people that are abducting the children, it's like a website, you know, like a catalog. They're just like, what kid do you want? And they're doing that. And, you know, of course you have boomers like, oh, it's stopping, you know, criminals, and it's doing this and that. It's really not. They're not really using it for that. It's surveillance in the highest form. It is strictly surveillance. Damn, that dragonfly was fat. One of my big things that freak me out about those cameras is they're everywhere, but they're also in places that they shouldn't be. And you could probably rebuttal that as, oh, well, it's to keep the children safe. And I don't think so, dude. There's no crime there. Why would they put a camera there? There's no crime at these parks, and they're like in nice parks, like where there's absolutely no crime at all. I mean, it's literally by a police station and a town square that has no crime where I live. Why is it there? And unfortunately, the reason why it's there is probably very sinister. So that's my whole spill on that. And I also just really enjoy being able to make these videos for you guys. I'm making it just for you guys, funding it completely. I'm editing it myself. I'm doing all this just for the love of the game. Just a guy that loves motorcycles. Just try to ride as much as I can. I try to be informative. I try to tell you things that are somewhat useful, instead of me just, you know, weaving through traffic or riding wheelies. I try not to have that at all, which I don't put that on my channel. I ride very modestly, and you know, I don't do anything crazy. So you're gonna look at that clip in this video of me in that truck, and you know, that was all AI. You know, that was on a closed road. The city shut it down for us. So it was all set up. Yeah, you don't got to worry about it. YouTube, you don't have to demonetize me. Police officers, they knew about it. It's all good. No worries. Yeah, that was a professional driver, a race car driver to be exact, in that truck. I actually gave my helmet and gloves to a GP rider, and he rode my bike behind him to show you that truck culture and bike culture can be friends. And we're all just one big happy family. That's all you need to know. Oh yeah, one thing. If you're going through intersections, don't cry. Don't be in this lane, like, at all. You want to be in that lane. Why, you may ask? Because where I live, this is a very typical intersection. Oh God, people don't see you on that part of the road, so I kind of see like that. You know, people do that, they do it blindly. You gotta say, oh, you're going like a little over the speed limit, kind of, not really, but you know, it's always the bike's fault. If you're going through intersections, be sure, especially when they're a divider like this, stay right here, don't go over there, because people will stop in this lane and let people from that lane go in here, and they'll go that way, and then bam, you're hit, you're done for, you're dead. And unfortunately it happened to a rider, two riders in my hometown. I briefly knew them. They were very young riders, you know, like 20-year-old riders. I'm not going to mention names, but it really kind of broke my heart. You know, I don't like seeing people get hurt, or especially die, especially young people. You know, it really breaks my heart. You know, I got a family, and I'd be devastated if anything happened to anybody in my family, you know, my friend groups. So there's a lot of things you can do to keep yourself alive, and they weren't bad riders. That's the thing. It's like everyone say, oh, they just weren't experienced. That wasn't the case. They were both pretty good riders. You know, they control wheelies. You know, they went to the drag strip. They knew how to launch a bike. They knew how to ride. It's just, these roads are so unforgiving in this part of Tennessee. Tennessees are known for their brutal roads, and there's blind spots everywhere. I mean, even our highways have pretty extensive turns. It's not like other places where it's pretty flat. Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, you know, places like that where you can see miles ahead of you. We don't have a road where you can see miles ahead of you. It does not exist. Even on our main roads, like main highways, 75 and 24, you're lucky to see a mile ahead of you, and even then it's still blind. Just be careful out there, guys. Enjoy your motorcycle. Don't override your limitations and abilities. Don't do it for the TikToks. Do it for you. Just want to say, love you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I know I was mostly a lot of yapping. The first video would have been so much better, but I left my microphone unplugged. So anyways, guys, stay safe. I'm going to get something for my throat. I hope I'm not getting sick, but if I am, whatever. But you guys have a good one. Love you guys. Be safe.